You know, I had more enjoyment listening to the tunes before the show started tonight, man. In one word. In one word. Tonight's show was boring. Boring. I got people arguing with me online, man, about how I don't like professional wrestling because I didn't like SmackDown tonight. The show was boring. Maybe one of the most uneventful SmackDowns of the year. Roman Reigns is in the Royal Rumble. That's a major piece of information right there, man. He joins John Cena and CM Punk in the Royal Rumble. Tiffany Stratton celebrates with the Women's Championship. And Jacob Fatu does not love Solo Sikoa. At least for tonight. I already botched the intro because I hit the wrong button on my stream deck. Let's see if we get this right. I'm going to the venue tonight, man. If I have more than one old-fashioned, I may fall asleep. Only one old-fashioned tonight at the venue. And when I get there, I want to know on this Friday night, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Friday Night SmackDown post show for January 10th, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live. I am barely live. Coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Friday evenings, wherever you may be. Friday Night SmackDown. Absolutely a waste of time. A waste of time. If you guys missed SmackDown tonight, you missed, and I mean missed, absolutely, positively, unequivocally, nothing. You missed nothing. The only piece of information that came out of SmackDown tonight was that Paul Heyman has now made Cody Rhodes aware that Roman Reigns is coming after the WWE Championship. He's got the Ulafala back. He's got his bloodline back. And now he wants the WWE Championship back. I feel like a lot of people are expecting this match to take place at some point in this calendar year. We may end up getting a Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes match at some point. But I'm here to tell you that even with Roman Reigns now announced for the Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns is not winning the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns may legitimately be a part of the Final Four, but man, oh man, the first thing that I thought about is when Paul Heyman announced Roman Reigns for the Royal Rumble. We only have 3 men right now announced officially for the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns tonight. CM Punk announced he will be in the Royal Rumble on Monday. And John Cena announced on Monday he will be a part of the Royal Rumble. By my calculations, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and John Cena, that makes for one hell of a Rumble already. And we have 27 other names yet to be announced. I'm assuming Drew McIntyre is going to be announced. I'm assuming Seth Rollins is going to be announced. This may be the most unpredictable Royal Rumble that we've had in decades, which is something that I absolutely love. I don't think John Cena is winning the Royal Rumble either. I think that's way too predictable. But Roman Reigns announced that he will be in the Royal Rumble, or Paul Heyman announced that Roman Reigns will be in the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns was not there tonight. The show could absolutely have used Roman Reigns. But when I say that's the biggest piece of information coming out of the show, that's the biggest piece of information coming out of the show. Cody Rhodes got into it not only with Kevin Owens, but got into it with whatever is remaining of the Bloodline 2.0. Solo Sikoa was not on the show tonight. It was Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso against Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Things happened earlier in the show. They got kicked out of the building by LA Knight. He helped Nick Aldis kick them out of the building. They came out and ruined his chances of regaining the the United States Championship. I'm thinking LA Knight moving over to Monday Night Raw. That's what I'm thinking. LA Knight failed at capturing the United States Championship thanks to Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. And then Cody Rhodes came out along with Jimmy Uso to help LA Knight. That was our main event tonight. Big tag team match with Cody Rhodes involved, teaming with Jimmy Uso against the Bloodline. And then we got the ladies. Tiffany Stratton finally got, or I should say finally, she just won it last week. She's already gotten a number one contender for that newly won women's championship that she stole last week from Nia Jax after cashing in her women's Money in the Bank. Bayley is now the number one contender for Tiffany Stratton and the WWE Women's Championship. I could probably go right to the Super Chats. I could probably go right to the Super Chats after that one, man. When I tell you that legitimately is everything that happened on this show, that is everything that legitimately happened on Friday night. The other piece of information tonight that I picked up on, and I'm not sure you guys picked up on it. I'm not even sure how many of you actually watched tonight's program. Jacob Fatu cut a promo, walking through the backstage area on his way through Gorilla, right before the main event with Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso. he did not utter the words, "I love you, Solo." Now, normally they have been very obedient. Normally they have been very loyal to Solo Sikoa, who is the leader of this renegade bloodline. Jacob Fatu did not say, "I love you, Solo," at the end of his promo. Now, it could be that Solo wasn't there, so saying "I love you, Solo" when he's not there, he probably felt it wasn't needed. Or maybe he didn't say it because Solo lost War Games, Solo lost to Roman, and Solo lost the Ulafala. Maybe he doesn't love Solo anymore because him and Tama Tonga are going to replace Solo. I don't know if you guys picked up on that. Found that to be a little bit of an interesting aspect to this overwhelmingly dull 3-hour SmackDown. This is exactly what I feared when we went to 3 hours. They have yet to do anything in regards with this transfer window. And we're operating with the same roster on Friday night that we have been operating with for several months. And this is the end result. The quicker you want to give this roster a fresh coat of paint, the better this show will be. That's all I'm saying. We need something new, we need something fresh, and we need something desperately exciting to happen on this show if we're going to settle at 3 hours for the foreseeable future. Because this show felt like fucking 6 hours, never mind 3 hours. When there's nothing for me to talk about, I don't want to sit here and talk about pro wrestling. I don't. I barely want to cover this show the way that we got it tonight, right now. There was a small part of my being that was going to cancel this stream tonight. That's how boring the show was. And then I got geeks online arguing with me. Oh, I'll read it to you. I'll read this one to you. People are absolutely fucking mental. Before I walk away now, says RPG Jock. Before I walk away now, I really believe you liked pro wrestling, but I'm not so sure anymore. I also have taste and desire for quality, which is something you clearly don't. Does your favorite sports team play great every single week? No, same applies here. What the fuck are you even blabbing about? The show sucked. The show sucked. I don't really understand what there is to talk about. I could cover this show in 15 minutes. That's how lame SmackDown was. And we're going to try our best to get through it. I've been a busy bee this week, man. It's been a very busy week so far. Great week. Great week. But normally when we get to Friday Night SmackDown, it's like, oh man, I'm ready for bed. The week is over. I don't want to watch pro wrestling, man. Monday, we had 5,000 people for the Raw debut on Netflix. You guys killed it. You guys killed it in every way possible, man. One of the biggest streams that we'll probably do all year. Tuesday Night Titans, we had 3,500 people. That show is almost at 50,000 views for the return of honestly the best two-man podcast in the entire IWC. There's nobody even close. Tuesday Night Titans, episode 78, was a fucking certified banger. It was probably one of the best moments in the history of our show so far. Goldberg. Wednesday night, Jesse and I killed it. That show is nearing 40,000 views. Gee, man. I guess people really do like the AEW podcast where we scream and shout about how terrible the show is. And then we had several videos go up in between, man. One, we talked about Malachi Black. He's on his way out of AEW. Welcome home, Aleister Black. And today we uploaded a Vince McMahon extra, 15 minutes or so. Vince beat the SEC settled on a $1.7 million settlement, and walks away from that dark cloud that was hanging over his head. Now he's just got Janelle Grant to worry about. And I hope they take him for a hell of a lot of money, man. If you guys missed any of that content, it's all on the homepage. Go and check it out. Some great stuff with more still to come this weekend. And I'm very much looking forward to Monday Night Raw on Monday, where we get the debut of Pentagon Jr. It is confirmed. It's going to be one hell of a show on Monday night. Can't wait for that. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. I'll set the goal for a small goal tonight of 750 likes. So make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Helps us out in the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you guys leave a comment down below as well. That also helps us out in the algorithm. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out. However many of you are left at the end of the show. Get them on in. It's a great way to support the podcast through the super chat option. Memberships are always open. Become a channel member right here on Off the Script. And tonight's show is sponsored by my great friends over at Blue Chew, who are on board for all of 2025. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. You're going to get a free sample on me. You're welcome. All you got to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. Clone Force 99, I see you. Yes, we are still doing a best of stream. I don't know when. It will probably be after I get back from Chicago. I'm flying to Chicago on Friday or Thursday. I'll be there Thursday and Friday. House of Glory will be in Chicago, and I will not be back until Saturday. So we'll figure it out then. Maybe that weekend. But yes, it is still coming, and I got everybody that I wanted to be a part of the show. I got everybody involved, and it should be a very entertaining stream. So, yes, that is still in the works. Friday Night SmackDown. Portland, Oregon was the site of Friday Night SmackDown tonight. The Moda Center in Portland, Oregon. Paul Heyman and Cody Rhodes. They start the show off. Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett welcomed everybody to Friday Night SmackDown. Joe Tess and Wade Barrett are the new play-by-play and commentary team, color commentary team for Friday Night SmackDown. They moved Corey Graves over to NXT for the temporary future. He will be used sporadically on the PLEs with Michael Cole, and he will be back on Monday night when Pat McAfee goes back and does his football gig in the fall. So it is only a temporary thing for Corey Graves, which I feel is beneath Corey Graves. I'm sure he does not mind because I'm sure he lives in Florida, in Orlando, and it's easy for him. I think that's a sweet gig, to be quite honest with you. Living in the same city which you work, especially for a pro wrestling company like NXT, it's got to be a great gig for him. I hope that Booker T kind of finds himself off of commentary. I think he's a little grating to the ears. I don't find him enjoyable to listen to. That's just my personal preference. But Corey Graves is on Tuesday nights, no longer Friday night or Monday night, and he will be back when they need him for the main roster, but he will still be doing the PLEs for WWE. Paul Heyman walked to the ring. He did his whole introduction. He says he was excited to be there and announced that there is only one reigning, defending, undisputed tribal chief of the WWE Universe and the entire island of relevancy, and that is the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. He's got the Ulafala back. Big OTC chant broke out. Heyman said Reigns authorized Heyman to tell everyone what Roman intends to accomplish next. Heyman said he wanted to share the news with one man in particular, and that man is Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes out. He does his whole entrance. He's dressed all fancy. And they finally meet face to face in the middle of the ring. Cody and Heyman shook hands. Once Cody got in the ring, Heyman said Cody deserved the response he received from the crowd, and Cody has done something few have ever done, which is earn the respect of Roman Reigns. Heyman talked about how great of a champion Cody has been so far. Because Cody has been a great champion, Reigns told Heyman to go out there tonight and tell Cody that Roman Reigns wants the WWE Championship back. Heyman declared that Roman Reigns will win the championship, and he will do it by winning the Royal Rumble. He will be in the Royal Rumble this year to earn his way into a championship match against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania for the undisputed WWE Championship. Heyman then asked Cody, what did he want to talk about? So the crowd started chanting Cody's name as Cody tried to go get a microphone for himself. Before Cody said anything into the microphone, Kevin Owens' voice was heard instead. And everybody looked around for where Kevin Owens was. He showed up in the crowd with a microphone. Owens said just when he thought it couldn't get worse, it did get worse. Because Cody went and shook hands with The Rock on Monday. Owens brought up how Heyman just mentioned how Roman Reigns wants his title back. Owens said he should have let the Bloodline rip Roman Reigns to shreds. Now look at what you've caused. You're allowing the man that we tried to stop. You're going to allow him to get his power back. Owens kept rambling, and Cody ran out of the ring and chased Kevin Owens into the crowd and brawled with Kevin Owens in the crowd. Heyman was left alone in the ring. This is where Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu showed up, and they were about to attack Paul Heyman. Jimmy Uso's music hit, and Jimmy ran out for the save. Jimmy grabbed the chair and hit Fatu, and Tonga with it. But all it did was wake Jacob Fatu up and turn him into a savage animal. He no-sold the chair shot, and Fatu hit Jimmy with a flying cross-body check. And the two worked over Jimmy. Fatu kicked a referee in the face when he tried to come in and break shit up. And the rest of the referees, they were all scared after they saw what happened to this geek. Nobody else came into the ring to help anybody. Cody made his way back through the crowd and towards the ring. Cody threw Tama Tonga out of the ring, and Fatu and Cody faced off. Cody eventually got advantage over Jacob Fatu and clotheslined him over the top rope. That was the way the opening segment came to an end. So I don't know what happened with Cody and Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens probably ran away. Cody made his way back to ringside, helped Jimmy and Heyman, which gave you a little bit of a direction of where the main event was going to go or where this show was going to go. But the opening segment was really good. It accomplished two things. Roman Reigns has his eye, actually three things. Roman Reigns has his eye on the WWE Championship, which we all knew was eventually going to happen. He got his Bloodline back. He got his Ulafala back. And now he wants the WWE Championship back. It's the trifecta. Everything that he lost because of the Bloodline 2.0, he's trying to get back. They made that intention very well known. Secondly, he's not getting a match because he's Roman Reigns. He's not getting a match because he beat Solo. He's not getting a match because he's got possession of the Ulafala. He's got to go through the trials and tribulations just like everybody else, and that is through the Royal Rumble. So they announced Roman Reigns for the Royal Rumble on top of CM Punk and John Cena already announcing themselves for the Royal Rumble. Just by those three names alone, that is a colossal, a massive Royal Rumble already. And we don't have a fucking clue as to who the other 27 men are. That is major. And I've always said the Royal Rumble, out of the field of 30, you should have at least a third of the field built up to a point where they are all legitimate contenders, winners of the Royal Rumble. You already have 3. 7 more to go to really amp up the unpredictability. But with these 3 men in it, that gives you all the unpredictability you need. There's going to be more added. Rollins is going to be added. Randy Orton may be added. Drew McIntyre is going to be added. Logan Paul is going to be in the Royal Rumble. This Royal Rumble field is going to be stacked this year. So I love that. Very excited that Roman Reigns is going to be in the Royal Rumble. He hasn't really been in a Rumble match all that often. I could probably count on one hand how many times he's been in the Royal Rumble. So that's going to be a great sight to see. CM Punk and Roman Reigns. CM Punk and John Cena. John Cena and Roman Reigns. I mean, just the epic stare downs, the epic clashes just out of these 3 names already just gets you excited. The third thing that I liked, and probably the most important thing that I liked about this segment, you would think that Roman Reigns announcing himself for the Royal Rumble was the most important part of this opening segment. It was not. The most important part of this segment is I love the way that they took whatever happened on Monday and they played into it tonight and added that extra dose of Kevin Owens is right. He is. No matter how you look at it, Kevin Owens has been right in everything that he's done and everything that he has said. Cody Rhodes was on Monday night in the crowd in a 3-piece suit, holding the WWE Championship over his shoulder. He needed to be there because he's the face of the company. He's the WWE Champion. They're not going to have the biggest Monday Night Raw of all time without their WWE Champion. He's just randomly standing in the crowd. And The Rock, the final boss, the same guy who left him bloody outside of his tour bus on the road to WrestleMania last year, The Rock put him over and thanked him for carrying the company on his back. He joked about Mama Rhodes. After the opening segment with The Rock on Monday was over, he went out and hugged Cody Rhodes. They then live streamed on Instagram, shook hands, and shared a shot or 2 of Terramana tequila. Kevin Owens called that out tonight on SmackDown. You shook hands with The Rock on Monday. Shook hands with The Rock on Monday. Owens brought up how Heyman just mentioned how Roman Reigns wants his title back. Owens says you should have let the Bloodline absolutely rip Roman Reigns to shreds. The one guy that tried to ruin everybody's life in WWE now seemingly is being helped by everybody. Kevin Owens is calling out that bullshit, and he's not going to stand for any of that. That was a great little piece to throw in there because it was utterly ridiculous that Cody Rhodes, of all people, would shake the hand of the same guy who stacked the odds so against him at WrestleMania and did not want him to finish his story. How much of a geek does Cody Rhodes look like? I would never, in 1,000 lifetimes, shake the hand of this guy who tried to ruin me and my family's legacy. Cody did. Man, did they big league Cody without knowing that they big leagued Cody Rhodes. They treated Cody Rhodes like a fucking afterthought, like a geek on Monday. But maybe this was done by design. Maybe this is the plan. Maybe Rock is playing us all, being that he already stated on Tuesday that he's 20 steps ahead of everybody else. So much so that he said that on January 7th. Roman Reigns on Monday said that on January 27th in Atlanta. that there will be a Ulafala tribal chief celebration. 7 plus 20 is 27. Did The Rock just plant an Easter egg or deliver an Easter egg to everybody when he showed up on NXT? Because he said that on January 7th. Is he 20 steps ahead of everybody else? Is he going to be in Atlanta? Is he going to show up on Raw? That's the Monday Night Raw before the Royal Rumble. I don't know. I don't know. I did enjoy this opening segment, and that's pretty much where this show came to an uninteresting halt. Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga were shown being thrown out of the building by WWE officials. Fatu fought back and started yelling at one of the officials. LA Knight comes on in to kind of save the day for Nick Aldis. Threw Fatu out of the building himself, saying he has a title to win later. Yeah. I don't know why he interjected himself into Bloodline business. But karma, Mr. LA Knight, has a way of coming right back and being a bitch. You don't fuck with Jacob Fatu. Chelsea Green. She defended the WWE Women's United States Championship against Michin. Michin did not get an entrance. By the time we came back from commercial, Michin was already in the ring. Chelsea Green won the United States Championship at Saturday night's main event on December 14th at the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island. This is officially her first title defense on TV. There was a rumor that WWE was going to save this match and do it again at the next Saturday night's main event on January 25th. Thank God they blew through it tonight and did not wait on it anymore. Clearly, with what you saw tonight, this did not need to wait another 3 weeks or so. You don't need to wait for all the major shows to do a big championship match. There's no feud. There's no story. There's just no interest here. So it's a smart move to just get it over with and move on with both ladies. So I'm glad that they did it here. You don't want Saturday night's main event to feel a little samey. We've seen it at the first one. There's no reason to do it again at the second one. That means that one match out of the 4 that you're planning for that show is going to be a rematch of what we saw on the first Saturday night's main event on December 14th. I'm glad they did this here. Now, if you were expecting a different match from what we got on TV on NBC on the 14th, you are sadly mistaken. This went nowhere. This was overly predictable, and this will be forgotten by the time this live stream is over. 8 minutes. They did not have much time to do much of anything. By the time they went to commercial, half the match was in the commercial break. Before the commercial break, Michin was on the outside. Green threw Michin into the crowd barrier on the outside. Michin made it back into the ring. Green kept up the offense, and we go to a commercial break. We come back from the break. Chelsea had the upper hand and worked a shin lock. Wow, man. What a match. Michin got out of it. Back suplex to Chelsea. Michin landed a shotgun dropkick and started twerking in the ring. Some of you might actually believe that's the best part of the match. You would be correct. She started twerking before hitting a cannonball in the corner on Chelsea Green. Michin went to throw Green, but Green countered by planting Michin face first. Green went to the top, missed a drop kick off the top, and Chelsea came down a little weird, man. She could have really been injured. If you were watching the show, you know what I mean. She came down really awkwardly off the drop kick, almost as if she was afraid to actually land. And she could have twisted an ankle or hurt her leg or knee coming down. Did not look like a good landing. So after the dropkick, Michin took control, hit a running knee. Michin went to the apron, kicked Piper Niven in the face, Michin then went for the top rope and hit a big crossbody off the top. But Chelsea, off the momentum of the crossbody block off the top rope, she rolled through, got the 1, 2, 3, and hooked the tights for added leverage and got the victory. After the match, Michin tried to attack Chelsea, but Niven interfered and hit a senton on Michin, allowing Chelsea to get away. Now, you would be convinced that the ending of this match and Chelsea hooking the tights would mean that there's going to be a third match. I hope that there is not a third match. Because, A, whatever we've seen in the first two matches is fucking boring. 2, there really isn't much of a story. It's funny, they had more of a story when there was no championship involved. Now that there is a championship, there's not really much of a story. There's no dialogue. There's no meaningful, progressive dialogue with any of these two, any of these three. And 3, I just don't think Chelsea Green is losing the championship this soon after winning it. That she's worked too hard to drop it to Michin, who I find to be incredibly boring, no matter who she's in the ring with. So I don't really know what WWE is trying to accomplish here. Not a good start for the Women's United States Championship. I expected a championship like this to be born and be given to somebody and maybe, A, be the workhorse title, and B, maybe get some meaningful story out of it, when a lot of these women, for years, didn't have anything to fight over. Now they do. What exactly is making the United States Championship special? What exactly is making the United States Championship prestigious and sought after? Nothing. 0. I hope we don't see a third match between these two. Footage from last week's tag team title match aired. Motor City Machine Guns were shown complaining to Nick Aldis earlier today. Pretty dead. I'm being told it's pretty deadly. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry, man. The way that they come out and get 0 reaction, I would assume that they're pretty dead. But I'm being told that it's pretty deadly. Okay. Just want to make sure. It's pretty deadly. So pretty deadly A-Town Down Under and Los Garza, who's a talented tag team, but they are also pretty dead. Nick Aldis told everyone to shut up after everybody was arguing. Pretty Deadly and Los Garza will face each other, while Motor City Machine Guns and A-Town Down Under will go and battle each other, with the winners potentially wrestling each other for a shot at the tag team championships. So we got ourselves a little mini tournament here, unofficially. They didn't really announce it as a tournament, but I mean, what else is it? So the winner of one match will face the winner of the other match, and the winners will face each other next week, and then the winners after that will face the tag team champions, DIY, in a tag team title match, man. Such unbelievable, witty creativity on Friday night. Los Garza, Angel, and Humberto. They defeated Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly. Elton Prince and Kit Wilson. So, at this point, and I want to preface this by saying I think Angel Garza and Humberto are a talented fucking tag team. They are. This has nothing to do with the ability of both men in the ring. They are great at what they do. On the other hand, no matter how great they are, the crowd couldn't give a single fuck about Los Garza. They are uninteresting, nobody cares, and they generate 0 heat. Same thing with Pretty Deadly. These are 2 heel tag teams who the crowd is completely indifferent to, and indifference watching two tag teams, no matter how good they are. Los Garza is better than Pretty Deadly. Indifference from the crowd makes for a very, very unenjoyable watching experience. I've been doing this long enough and been watching enough pro wrestling to understand that when you put two heel tag teams in the ring, no matter how good they are, it just comes off as unimportant. Nobody cares. Who am I supposed to cheer for? Who am I supposed to emotionally invest in? I don't. The way that they have been portrayed and the way that they have been perceived on Friday nights, you would think that both of these teams are jobber teams. And now all of a sudden, because SmackDown went to 3 hours, and these guys need TV time and they need to fill TV time, now you're asking me to care. It doesn't work that way. This is why SmackDown moved to 3 hours, huh? So we get Los Garza and Pretty Deadly. Yeah, you could keep that shit at 2 hours, bro. Los Garza, they quick started the match, and Humberto hit a suicide dive on Kit Wilson. They go back inside the ring. Humberto hit a standing moonsault for a 2 count. Angel tagged in. And both Los Garza hit Wilson with a double super kick. And they go for a cover. They get a 2 count. Humberto tagged back in, landed a drop kick for another 2 count. Elton Prince got a blind tag, dragged Humberto over the top rope to the outside. Looked like a nasty landing for my guy Humberto. And after that, flip over the top rope where he landed on the apron neck first. We go to a commercial break. Humberto was doing his thing to try and turn things around here against Elton Prince. He did not get the job done. Kit Wilson tagged in, missed the big splash immediately, which allowed Humberto to get the hot tag to Angel Garza. He came in, house on fire, landed a big cross body block from the top rope. He goes for a cover, he gets a 2 count. Angel did the whole take his pants off spot, which I loved in NXT. I thought he was the makings of a up-and-coming great Latino wrestler on NXT. He was great on NXT. He had the ambiance, he had the aura, he had the vibe. He hasn't had that on the main roster. He threw the pants at Wilson, kicked him for a 2 count. Prince got himself back in there, planted Angel while the referee was distracted. With the ref still distracted, Santos Escobar. He crotched Elton Prince on the top rope. From there, Los Garza go up top. And I love Los Garza's finish, man. That double high, big, double power slam off the top rope, man. That shit looks fucking gnarly. It's a great fucking move right there. Los Garza get the win. Again, they are a great tag team. What they do in the ring as a tag team is great. If they were only given some time to shine, and they haven't been treated like a bunch of losers, then maybe the crowd could start investing in Los Garza. Same thing with Pretty Deadly. How often have they been in tag team matches, even when the show was at 2 hours? They're backstage selling Pretty Deadly the musical, and they're doing, hey boy, no hey boy, or yes boy, whatever the fuck their catchphrase is. Yes boy. No. Now, both of these teams, they are ice cold. I don't know who's asking for this. Maybe this is WWE's way of starting to heat up the tag team division. Hopefully the crowd understands that you're going to be seeing a lot more of these teams. Hopefully the crowd understands that at 3 hours, you're going to need to start to invest in one of these teams. Maybe then they will have some investment from the fan base so we can determine who we care about more and maybe get one of these teams over. Because right now, this ain't it. LA Knight. He challenged Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship. This was an official championship match. This went 15 minutes. These guys wrestled at Survivor Series. And that match was pretty quick. 9 minutes or so, 10 minutes, Nakamura won the championship. I would say that this was better than their Survivor Series match. A little clunky towards the end because it looked like they didn't know what they wanted to do, and they both looked like they had two left feet, kind of dancing over each other, little hesitation on what to do next. Clunky, lazy. But I thought this was overall better than the Survivor Series match. Now, I kind of figured that LA Knight was not going to win the United States Championship here. It really doesn't make sense for him to win back the championship. I know the title's probably going to go back to him at some point, but WWE is going to play the long game here. Nakamura won it. He hasn't really done much of anything as far as defending the championship. He hasn't had a long enough reign to really warrant putting the championship on him. I know Nakamura has his enthusiasts. I know everybody likes the entrance and the ambiance and the aura and the feel and the music, the presentation of Nakamura. It's all great. It's all great. But when the bell rings, I struggle to find any interest in what Nakamura does. That may be a JD problem. I just don't find anything that he particularly does interesting. I don't. After the entrance and after the presentation, the entire Nakamura character itself, just, I mean, you're straddled with, oh, it's just Nakamura. It's just Shinsuke Nakamura. That's all it is. You've seen one Nakamura match, you've seen them all. No matter what he looks like, no matter what his presentation is, no matter what his music is, it's all the same shit. But I did not expect him to lose the championship. But I thought this match was a lot better than the Survivor Series match. Match got started off pretty slow. Both guys tried to feel each other out. Nakamura eventually got control. Hit a running knee. He was draped over the ring apron. Knight tried to fight back. Nakamura cut him off and went to work on LA Knight's knee. He found himself on the outside, did LA Knight, and ultimately clotheslined Nakamura, sent him out to the floor. Knight followed that up with a baseball slide and repeatedly started to punch Nakamura's, slam Nakamura's head onto the commentary table. So after a couple of shots on the commentary table, we go back inside the ring. LA Knight clothesline Nakamura over the top rope again to the outside. Nakamura ran LA Knight into the ring post twice, and we go into a picture-in-picture commercial. I guess they did the picture-in-picture commercial because it was a championship match. Show comes back. LA Knight and Nakamura, blow for blow, shot for shot, until LA Knight took over and slammed Nakamura before hitting a big elbow for a 2 count. Knight lifted Nakamura. He worked his way out of it. Nakamura pulled the turnbuckle pad off the second rope and followed it up with a sliding German suplex. Nakamura is up on the top rope. LA Knight jumped to the top rope with his signature superplex spot, and he superplexed Nakamura. Beautifully executed. When Nakamura floats over, man, into a suplex, it almost comes off as if he's a lot of dead weight. So when he does it, especially LA Knight doing something like that to Nakamura, it just looks a little bit more impressive. If you guys watched the show, you know what I'm talking about. The spot with LA Knight jumping on the top rope, it's either a miss completely or he does it and he nails it perfectly. Tonight he nailed it perfectly. When he does it, it's fucking gorgeous. When he doesn't do it and doesn't land the spot, I mean, there's just so much that could go wrong. So I thought this was a great spot. The big suplex spot. He got Nakamura over up big time, and that was a great spot. So there was this spot that happened after this. LA Knight got on this Boston Crab. I don't know what it was. It was a reverse ball. Just picture a Boston Crab, but reversed. That's exactly what it was. Out of this Boston Crab reverse, Nakamura got to the ring ropes. He broke the hold. Nakamura gets out. He goes for an armbar. LA Knight rolled Nakamura up in the armbar for a 2 count. Nakamura popped up and kicked LA Knight. LA Knight went for a BFT. Nakamura countered with a back elbow. There was some miscommunication and some sloppy dancing going around here. They didn't know what they needed to do next. Nakamura countered with a back elbow. He then followed up with a Kinshasa, but LA Knight got his leg on the bottom rope after the pin attempt. I never understand these spots. I mean, how much of a veteran is Shinsuke Nakamura? He nails the Kinshasa. He goes for a cover right near the rope, and you just look like a dummy champion. Nail the Kinshasa, pull him away from the rope, and then maybe give you a shot to win this match without your opponent being next to the rope. I never understood that. It just defies the fucking logic of a pro wrestler. You nail your finish, the guy's laying next to the rope. Gee, man, let me go for a cover. You look like a complete geek. LA Knight gets his foot on the bottom rope. Nakamura put LA Knight's head on the exposed turnbuckle steel. Knight moved. Nakamura ran himself into the exposed turnbuckle. He hits the BFT. He's going to go for the pin and win the championship. And all of a sudden, we get Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu showing up and attacked LA Knight to end the match. Disqualification. Fatu hits all of his moves. He does the mighty moonsault off the top rope on LA Knight. Beautifully executed. Cody, this time he's dressed in wrestling gear. Gee, man, I wonder why. So Jimmy's out there, Cody's out there. They double super kick Fatu and Tonga, and they retreat. Cody grabbed the microphone and yelled for Nick Aldis, no, don't do anything for them. Don't do anything to them. Keep them here. They got wrestling gear on. We got wrestling gear on. Let's do this thing tonight. Tag team match was made. Cody and Jimmy versus Fatu and Tama Tonga. Very, very Vince McMahon-esque. Very Vince McMahon-esque. Tag team match made in the middle of the show for the main event. But I like the way that they set it up. LA Knight, he's not particularly fond of the Bloodline. He helped Nick Aldis kick the Bloodline out of the building. They somehow got back in the building. They wanted revenge on LA Knight for poking his nose in their business. He gets cost the United States Championship by the Bloodline. Tag team match is made. Cody and Jimmy want to take care of the Bloodline. Main event is made for SmackDown. I mean, it's as basic could be. WWE didn't really take any risks here. Just a very, very basic Friday night. Motor City Machine Guns. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. They defeated A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory, and Grayson Waller. This went about 12 minutes. This was a lot better than what we got with the last tag team match with Pretty Deadly and Los Garza. And this wasn't particularly bad. It wasn't. I can't really sit here and tell you a Motor City Machine Guns tag team match is particularly bad. But again, I'm going to say it is very difficult to care about these teams when they really haven't done much of anything to get you excited in the first place. Now, the Motor City Machine Guns, you can tell WWE is trying to heat them up. They're involving them. They got the Motor City Machine Guns in the thick of things in the tag team division with the tag team championships and DIY. Street Profits are also involved. So those are the three big guns. The three big teams on Friday night. Then you got Los Garza. You got A-Town Down Under. You got Pretty Deadly. I mean, it's a solid tag team division. It's a solid tag team division that isn't particularly interesting. This was not a bad match. I just don't really understand why WWE is now all of a sudden trying to put all their focus on tag team wrestling when, honestly, the damage has been done with a lot of the division. I mean, you could watch this match. The Motor City Machine Guns are great fucking wrestlers. But let's call a spade a spade. I mean, they're not the most exciting tag team right now on television. The fans don't particularly, resonate with them the way that everybody expected them to resonate with the Motor City Machine Guns. A-Town Down Under, nobody could give a single fuck about what they do. Not that they're bad. I think they're a solid team. Nobody cares. The indifference, I mean, it is shockingly bad. For some reason, there was a chant of "This is awesome" in this match. But the crowd came off like they could not be bothered to give a shit. And that's the problem. You got DIY and you got the Street Profits. The two teams right now that are generating the most heat in the division. And every other team in the division, there's just this overwhelming sense of indifference with everything else that they do. You got the Profits and DIY. They get the right amount of heat. The other teams are struggling to catch up. Will WWE remedy and fix the tag team division? The more that we see it, I don't know. All I know is the reason why all of these teams are on TV right now, whereas they weren't, is because WWE is forced to put them on TV now that they are at 3 hours. But the fact that you didn't even feature them when the show was 2 hours, now you see what damage you've really done with the tag team division. None of these teams are particularly interesting. Was the "This is awesome" piped in? I just found it to be very weird. Honestly, I found it to be fucking very weird. I mean, there was such indifference, and then all of a sudden I hear a "This is awesome." That was a very, very bizarre instance. Shelley and Waller began the match. We'll pick it up right before the commercial break here. Motor City Machine Guns kicked and clotheslined Waller over the top rope. Sabin went for a splash, but Theory tripped Sabin. From there, Waller hit a rolling flatliner on Shelley inside the ring. He goes for the cover. He gets a 2 count, and we go to a commercial break. We come back from the break. Waller and Theory stayed on top of Shelley. Theory worked a chin lock. Oh, my goodness, man. What exciting action with the chin lock on Shelley. Waller tagged in. Shelley ran Theory into Waller and super kicked Theory. Shelley rolled and tagged Sabin. Landed a series of right hands on Waller. Sabin went for the second rope. Hit a missile dropkick on Grayson Waller. Shelley tagged in. And Motor City Machine Guns landed stereo baseball slides on A-Town Down Under. Machine Guns followed that up with Sabin's suicide dive through the top and second ropes. Inside the ring, Shelley tagged in Sabin. And while Waller ran the ropes, Theory tagged himself in. Action goes to the outside, and Sabin ran at Waller, but Theory cut Sabin off with a big back elbow. Waller tagged in. A-Town Down Under hits a double punch to Sabin. He goes down. They go for a cover, only get a 2 count. Shelley eventually tagged in. Things broke down, and all 4 guys were down. Sabin tags back in, took Waller out. Shelley and Sabin then singled out Theory and executed their finish, Skull and Bones, on Austin Theory for the win. So the Motor City Machine Guns now get Los Garza next week. And I'm assuming the winner of that match is the number 1 contender for DIY and their tag team championships. A tournament, but not really a tournament, because they got 3 hours of television to fill. Not particularly interesting, but not bad. Like I said, it's just not anything I'm interested in. The indifference honestly just cuts through the TV with most of these teams. Ciampa and Gargano, they were backstage, and they were shown upset. They ran into Pretty Deadly, who lost to Los Garza earlier in the night. They asked DIY, why didn't you guys help us earlier? We scratch your back, you scratch ours. Tommaso Ciampa says, I don't want you guys scratching my back. And Johnny Gargano's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Pretty Deadly will get their tag team title match eventually. And Pretty Deadly need to trust them. Apollo Crews walked up. The only TV time that they have for Apollo Crews is being someone who lectures Pretty Deadly that they are being treated like fools. He walked into frame and said, if they were dumb enough to believe DIY, they'll deserve everything coming their way. Okay. Great. I am so enthused, man. I'm so enthralled by this unbelievable storytelling on Friday night. Nia Jax. If you guys are wondering, Pretty Deadly is probably not getting their tag team title shot. Yes, boy. Nia Jax. She was with Candice LeRae. They were talking to each other in the women's locker room. Jax wondered what Tiffany Stratton would say later. Candice said, well, I seen her walking to ringside now. Jax said, maybe I'll go congratulate Stratton myself. So she walked to the ring to meet Tiffany Stratton during this Tiffy celebration. Stratton comes out. Big reaction from the crowd. Obviously, right now, seeing how things are playing out on the women's side of things on Friday Night SmackDown, everybody loves them some Tiffy time. I don't know how long that's going to last, but hopefully it continues this way when Charlotte inevitably comes back and is positioned at the top of the card against Tiffany Stratton. I am not excited about a Charlotte Flair return. I'm not. And I hope that they do the right thing and present her as a heel and not a babyface. I would much rather see a babyface Tiffany than a babyface Charlotte. Stratton came out to a nice reaction. Byron Saxton was in the ring and reminded Stratton that she became the new WWE Women's Champion last week. Gee, Byron. Wow, man. What a fucking unbelievable job you've done, man. Like, I can't fucking see it, man. Wow. Was Byron there last week? Maybe he missed it. Maybe what she's holding is something that she got on the toy shelf at Target and not the real Women's Championship. Maybe she's just playing pretend. Saxton congratulated Stratton and she yelled, "It's Tiffy time." She also called it a Tiffy turn of events. Stratton then recapped her run so far on the main roster and said that she's better than your favorites. The crowd cheered. The "your favorites" line was done by design. Everybody's favorite's going to be back soon, and you know exactly who that is. Right off the conveyor belt with their new antivirus installed. Every time she's on TV, I suffer a virus. Crowd cheered. Byron then started to talk about Nia Jax bullying Stratton. Stratton cut off Saxton. She said she got Jax to trust her, and Jax thought Stratton was just a dumb blonde, and Nia let her guard down. As a result, Stratton said she stole Jax's most prized possession. Stratton yelled to put respect on her name and to tell her what time it is. So we got Nia Jax. She walks out with a microphone. She's angry. Jax called Stratton an ungrateful little shit. Jax said she could kill Stratton. She said Stratton would be nothing without her because she made Tiffany Stratton on the main roster. Jax says it took Stratton long enough to take advantage of her. Nia Jax walked onto the ring apron and then into the ring. Crowd is chanting Tiffy time. Nia Jax addressed the audience and said, "Time's up." She told Stratton to give Jax her title back, or she said she'd take it back herself. Out of nowhere, Bayley's music hits, and she walks out with a microphone. Bayley was on Monday teasing a possible move to Monday nights with Adam Pearce. Bayley told Nia Jax to shut the hell up and told Stratton she always thought Stratton was stupid. Bayley recalled how Nia took Stratton under her wing and Tiffany still outsmarted her. Bayley stepped into the ring and said the only reason Nia Jax had her title was because Jax had Stratton's help. Bayley said it was only fitting that Bayley takes Stratton's title from her. All of a sudden, Naomi's music plays. And Naomi walks out with Bianca Belair. Naomi said everyone knew she had Nia Jax beat last week. Naomi said if it wasn't for Tiffany, Naomi would be holding 2 titles. Naomi said Jax has to see her first before going after Stratton. Jax said nobody cares about Naomi. I think out of all the women in this ring, minus Tiffany, most of the people care about Naomi. Jax attacked Belair and Naomi. Naomi, Bayley, Belair, and Nia were all fighting. Stratton all of a sudden hits prettiest moonsault ever on everybody and left them all lying in the middle of the ring as she walked away unscathed with her women's championship. Nick Aldis showed up with the microphone and said, I have an idea. And then he announced a fatal 4-way match to determine the number 1 contender for Tiffany's world title. And that match is happening right now. Another random match made. Bayley, Nia, Naomi, and Bianca Belair. This went 18 minutes. This was probably the best thing on the entire show. Again, I said last week, Naomi and Nia. The interactions and the in-ring chemistry between them is very good. Then you got Bayley and Bianca, who also have had great in-ring chemistry. And then Bianca and basically anybody she's in the ring with. So you got Bayley. Nia worked Bayley okay. It wasn't the best. Nia works Bianca very well. Nia works Naomi very well. So there were a lot more positives in this match than there were negatives. So I thought this was a very solid match. I did not expect Bayley to win and become the number 1 contender, which was the outcome here. And Bayley is now the number 1 contender for the women's championship. Any one of the, minus Nia. Nia was not going to win this one, being that she just lost. I would have taken Bianca, Naomi, or Bayley against Tiffany Stratton. Any one of these 3 women would have been a great match. So, no matter how you look at it, you had a 75% chance of getting a great women's championship match coming out of this fatal 4-way. Naomi and Bianca. Obviously, they're the tag team champions. They teamed up on Nia early. Nia tried to suplex both at the same time. Barely got them up and over, but she did. Bayley returned to the match and started to take out Nia until Nia threw Bayley away. The baby faces now, all 3 of them went after Nia, but Nia pushed them all away. Naomi, Bayley, and Bianca stared at each other, and Nia pulled Belair to the outside. Bayley and Naomi then locked up inside, and Naomi got the best of her until Bayley came back and got 2 pin attempts on Naomi. Bayley was pulled to the outside by Nia Jax, and Jax threw Bayley into the barricade outside. Back inside the ring, Naomi landed a shin breaker on Nia. She then leapt at Nia. Nia caught her and slammed her down for a 2 count. Belair tried to lift Nia up just like she did last week, but Nia this week stopped her. So Belair, instead, she starts punching away at Nia in the corner. Nia powerbombed Belair. She goes for cover, but Bayley broke up the pin attempt. Bayley suplexed Nia Jax and went to the top rope. Nia cut her off. Nia then lifted Bayley for a Samoan drop, but Naomi and Bianca ran in and slammed Nia Jax. So all 4 women were down, and we go to a commercial break. Nia Jax slammed Naomi. Belair and Bayley broke up a pin attempt. Bayley and Belair took turns punching away at Nia. Bayley and Belair sent Nia to the outside and then started going after each other. Bayley rolled up Bianca for a 2 count. Bayley then rolled up Bianca again, but this time Nia Jax comes up to break that pin attempt. Naomi returned to the match, kicked Nia before landing a big Russian leg sweep. She then hit the big split-legged moonsault in the corner for a near fall. Bayley came from the top rope, hit her Macho Man Randy Savage-esque elbow drop for a 2 count. Belair then came off the top rope in a 450 splash on Nia, but Bayley quickly broke up that cover. So all the babyfaces tried to pin Nia Jax at the same time, and that did not work. Now, the equalizer in Nia's corner, Candice LeRae. She then walked down to the ring, and Naomi and Belair worked some double team moves on Bayley. That left Naomi and Belair all alone to fight each other. The tag team champions are now staring at each other, every woman for themselves. Instead of going at it, though, they went at Bayley and Nia Jax on the outside and decided to double team both ladies. Jax caught Naomi and ran her into the ring apron. Nia Jax returned to the ring, and she got taken out by Bianca with a shoulder block. Bayley then hit Bayley to belly on Belair. Naomi broke up that attempted cover by Bayley. Naomi hit a rear view on Bayley, but Jax broke that up. Nia then dropped Naomi, and Belair broke up that pin attempt. So all 4 women are down again in the middle of the ring. Belair planted Bayley with a moonsault for a 2 count. Belair then lifted Bayley up for a KOD, but Candice broke it up by pulling Belair's braid through the ropes as she was standing on the outside of the ring. So now there's a tug of war with Bianca's braid between Bianca and Candice. Naomi's in the ring. She's standing right behind Belair. Belair wins the tug of war, but when she pulls her braid back and she grabs control of her braid, she violently whips the braid into Naomi's midsection because of the force that she tried to pull it away from Candice. The force took her right into Naomi. She accidentally hit Naomi with the braid. Nia and Belair looked at each other, and they took each other out over the commentary table, and they both flip over the table. Inside the ring, Bayley hit the rose plant on Naomi, and that was enough for the 1, 2, 3. This was a great match. Good TV match here for all 4 of these ladies. There may not be an overwhelmingly interesting, oh my God, I got to watch every week type of story. But I got to admit, the last couple of weeks, the women in this division have pumped out some very good TV matches, some of which have been better than the men. And I'm going to say that with all honesty. This was probably the best thing on the entire show. Nia Jax and Naomi last week was probably the best thing in ring on that show. So the last several weeks, the women, as far as what they have been producing in the ring, have been very, very good. Now, Bayley is going to be used to simply get Tiffany Stratton a victory. I'm sure there'll be some shenanigans. Somebody will get involved, whether it's Naomi or Bianca or both of them or Nia Jax or Candice LeRae. I'm sure the match will end in some fuckery next week. But Tiffany Stratton, no matter what you want to think, is not losing the championship after winning it. So I am expecting some fuckery next week, and Tiffany is obviously going to retain the championship. But this was a very good TV match and easily the best match of the entire show. Cody and Jimmy were shown talking backstage, and Cody said he knew Roman would want his title back, so all was good. Cody walked away and said, "Don't worry about it. We got tonight. I'll see you out there." Carmelo Hayes walked up to Jimmy and kind of threatened Jimmy Uso about what happened last week. Jimmy asked, what's that catchphrase you usually use? And Melo's like, yeah, Melo don't miss. And Jimmy said, you know, it's funny you say you don't miss. You've been shooting nothing but bricks ever since you got to SmackDown. And then he said, no, yeet. I would say Carmelo moving over to Monday Night Raw is probably a safe bet. Nothing really more for him to do on Friday. Bayley was walking backstage and ran into Byron Saxton, who said Bayley's match against Tiffany Stratton will indeed take place next week. Bayley said she's grown up in this business And she pointed out that Stratton has never beaten Bayley. So she's got the advantage going into next week. Also set for next week, the Motor City Machine Guns take on Los Garza, and Solo Sikoa is set to return to SmackDown next week as well. I will be in Chicago with the Solid Monster calling a House of Glory show, so I fully expect Solo Sikoa to get dumped from the Bloodline next week, because I'm not watching. Jacob Fatu. He was cutting a promo backstage, and he was basically going over Jimmy and Cody in the main event. Fatu's tone shifted from being a loyal Solo Sikoa follower to more of a serious, threatening tone. More like one a leader would portray. And it was at this point in the show where normally if Solo was leading them to the ring, he would be like this, with his palms together, praying to Solo Sikoa, "I love you, Solo!" We didn't get none of that tonight. We got very straightforward, direct, almost very leader-esque Jacob Fatu. And he did not say, "I love you, Solo." That was clearly omitted from his promo. Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu against Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso. And this was fun. I thought this was fun. And it's more of your run-of-the-mill standard WWE TV tag, but nothing really too crazy here. Love to see Jacob Fatu taking more of a leader role. Could be a little Easter egg, a little indication of where we're going here when Solo gets back next week. Cody and Tama Tonga started the match, and Cody dropped Tama Tonga. Cody went after Tonga's arm, tagged in Jimmy. We go into a commercial break where Fatu tagged in, and Fatu worked over Jimmy. Fatu landed his pop-up Samoan drop on Jimmy, and we go into a picture-in-picture break. The show comes back from commercial, and Tama Tonga tagged in to dropkick Cody. Started working over Jimmy Uso's leg. He's doing the typical whatever the fuck he's saying, whatever he's doing, he's out there doing that. Fatu tagged in, landed a senton on Jimmy after hitting Cody and knocking him off the apron. Fatu landed his hip attack on Jimmy. He did that twice. After the second time, Fatu got a 2 count out of it. Fatu placed Jimmy on the top rope and screamed, "I love you, Solo!" He said it there, but he didn't say it in the entrance before the match. Maybe it was just more of a serious tone because of what Cody Rhodes did to him earlier. But he really does love Solo. I don't know. Jimmy fought back, knocked Fatu off the ropes. Jimmy eventually hit a spinning splash on Fatu. Cody gets the hot tag. He snapped power slam Tama Tonga, who also tagged in. Tonga received a disaster kick. Cody then lifted Tonga, but Tonga got out of it. Fatu and Tonga were on the outside, and Cody landed a suicide dive on both Bloodline members. Back in the ring, Cody hit the dusty punches with the big elbow on Tama Tonga for a 2 count. Cody set up for a crossroads on Tama Tonga, but Tonga countered into a DDT for a 2 count. Cody lifted Tonga and perched on the top rope while Jimmy tagged in. Cody and Jimmy did a power and glory finish, or a variation of it. Fatu broke things up. Cody had a Cody cutter on Fatu, and Jimmy sent Fatu over the commentary desk. Another commentary desk spot. WWE loves sending guys over the commentary desk. It's the most dangerous place outside the NXT parking lot. Kevin Owens all of a sudden walked down the aisle. Cody saw him, and Cody and KO brawled to the back. Inside, Jimmy was left all alone. Poor Jimmy Uso. Jimmy hits a spear on Tama Tonga. He goes to the top rope. He hits a nice-looking Uso splash. Fatu pulled Jimmy to the outside. Fatu then tagged in and slammed Jimmy's head on the commentary table before rolling him back into the ring, where Fatu hit an impaler and the mighty moonsault for the 1, 2, 3. And Jacob Fatu got the victory. He got the victory because Cody Rhodes was taken out of the match by Kevin Owens. So they set that one up and telegraphed that one because there was no way Jimmy Uso was going to beat either one of these guys, especially Jacob Fatu. Mission accomplished. They had to make the Bloodline. See, this is what I'm thinking. Solo lost on Monday. And the Bloodline wins here on Friday without Solo. They beat Cody and Jimmy. So I'm wondering if that's going to come into effect next week when they meet with Solo Sikoa and he's back on the show. And they really do bring up the fact that him leading them has gotten them nowhere. He lost War Games. He lost to Roman. He lost the Ulafala. He lost to Cody several times. He's failed to capture the WWE Championship. He's not the leader that he's promised to be. But Jacob Fatu got the victory today. Bloodline, they, at least for this week, look dominant. They're being led by Jacob Fatu. Are they going to look at Solo Sikoa next week? Are we going to have a Solo versus Jacob stare down next week over the discrepancies in the Bloodline? I don't know. As far as Cody and Kevin Owens, they didn't really have any other dialogue. Cody didn't have any dialogue towards Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens only called out what he did on Monday against The Rock, or with The Rock, shaking The Rock's hand, which even KO called fucking ridiculous. That was the only dialogue that they had. After the match was over, Owens and Cody brawled back into the arena, and they brawled off to the side of the crowd where the traveling equipment is, all the audio equipment. Owens set up for a powerbomb, but instead the two traded punches. Cody then standing on top of the production crates with Kevin Owens, and there's a table right down below. Cody speared Owens, and the two go through a bunch of tables down below, and they're all selling the pain, or these both of these guys were selling the pain from the spot, and the show, SmackDown tonight, went off the air. So very minimal build towards Cody and Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. I think it's you could just get a sense of it running its course. There's not much else needing to be done. There's not much more that either one of these guys can say. Royal Rumble, it's set February 1st. Ladder match, both titles, Winged Eagle, WWE title, Cody and Kevin Owens. We got 3 weeks to get there. Should be great. What I'm looking forward to next week is the fact that Solo lost on Monday, lost the Ulafala. Jacob Fatu pins one of Roman's guys, Jimmy, tonight. They beat Jimmy and Cody. What does that face-to-face with Solo and Jacob Fatu look like next week? That's the biggest selling point of Friday Night SmackDown. Both of these shows, Monday and Friday, basically were set-up shows. WWE really didn't do much of anything to enhance what they got going on. They didn't enhance anything coming out of Monday. They basically closed chapters, finished chapters, and Monday, hopefully, this week, will start new. What else is there really to start? I mean, the Royal Rumble, everybody's going to be in the Royal Rumble match. There really isn't much to build. I would love if they actually built some tension between a couple of guys going into the Rumble that actually play out in the Rumble. Cody and Kevin Owens, there really isn't much to do or say there. The women's division right now, Rhea doesn't have a clear opponent coming out of Monday. Tiffany Stratton found Bayley tonight. There really isn't any story there. LA Knight and the Bloodline, where is that going? They saved Nakamura and helped him keep the United States Championship. Chelsea Green and Michin, no real story there. Tag team division right now is honestly cold on both shows. The things that we want, the most important things, WWE hasn't really given us. And I don't think they're going to give us. I think the next 3 weeks are going to be basically ho-hum shows. They're going to be very middle-of-the-road shows because there really isn't anything to do. There really isn't anything to say. There really isn't anything to build upon. There was no Drew McIntyre on this show. He's got his bloodline problems. I truly think WWE is honestly waiting for everything to kind of play out in the Royal Rumble. They're going to take whatever they got going on right now, kind of slow burn it. You're going to get whatever you get at the Royal Rumble. And then, as soon as we get through the Rumble, things are going to start heating up. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. I know it was a lame show tonight, which in turn makes it a very lame turnout for the live stream. But what can I do, man? There's not much I could do. There's not much I could say. Honestly. We'll just wait till next week. Make sure you guys follow me on social media. At JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Not going to be on TikTok too much longer as they are closing it in about a week's time. So if you guys are a TikTok creator or are on TikTok, we are closing TikTok. TikTok will be no more. I am live on all the other social media platforms, though. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys check out all the other content on the channel. There's plenty of it, including today's upload. Vince McMahon settles with the SEC $1.7 million. Make sure you guys go check out yesterday's upload on Malachi Black. He's on his way back to WWE. Aleister Black will resume his duties under the Triple H administration. And we were live for Wednesday's Dynamite, Tuesday Night Titans on Tuesday, and Monday Night Raw on Monday with the debut of Netflix. You guys got a lot of content to look forward to if you missed anything. I even uploaded two videos today on the second channel, so go check that out. 2 uploads, a double upload day on the second channel, man. Tonight's show is sponsored by Blue Chew. First impressions, bro. They are very important. But what about lasting impressions? That's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew helps boost your confidence in the bedroom so you can stay hard and perform at your best. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but at a fraction of the cost. And they come in a chewable tablet. Process is very simple. You're going to sign up at BlueChew.com. You're going to consult with one of your online medical providers. And once you are approved, you're going to receive your prescription within days. No questions asked. They're made in the USA. They are prepared and shipped directly to you in a very discreet package. And it's all done online, man. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no waiting in line at the pharmacy, no awkward conversations. That means it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. After a Braun Breaker spear, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. You can take them anytime, day or night, and be ready whenever that opportunity arises. Blue Chew wants you guys to have the confidence to perform at your best. So get everything you need at BlueChew.com. And you can try it for free today by using our code JD at checkout at BlueChew.com. All you got to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. I want to thank Blue Chew for once again not only sponsoring tonight's show, but joining the Off the Script family for all of 2025. Super chats are open. Let's read through these, and then we'll get out of here. Main Event 81 with a 26 months. Happy New Year. If AEW doesn't change, we could see All Elite Wrestling closing its doors. Why He just won't get a writing team and give us long-term stories. Listen, main event, I have no fucking clue, bro. No idea, man. They are allergic to telling good stories over there. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. Good Friday, JD and Off the Script. Have a great weekend, my friends. You too, brother. King Mo Jackson with a $4.99. I hear NXT the best brand in WWE. But no, it's cheesy and cringe most of the time. Decent show, but not the best. Trick, Oba, and Perez are the best thing in NXT. King Mo, you forgot Stephanie Vacher and Julia. Don't know how you forget Stephanie Vacher. I don't get it. But yes, NXT is not a good show. Oh, but JD, you gotta watch NXT. I do. I watch it every Thursday. I watch it every Thursday on the CW app. And I find myself asking why. It's just not good. Collision is happening tomorrow night. CW is running a rerun of New Year's Evil NXT on their network at 8 p.m. Man, I would laugh. I would laugh so hard if a rerun of NXT beats out AEW Collision on a Saturday night. And Fraxium. I can't forget my guys in Fraxium. Best tag team in WWE. Apex with a $1.99. Cody hates hearing the truth, doesn't he? Yeah. Yeah, so does Dwayne. King Mo Jackson, $1.99. The best wrestling movie you ever watched, in your opinion. Randy the Ram. Great movie. The Wrestler. Beyond the Script with 38 months. Just dropping by to say hello. Been incredibly busy. Lauren Marie with a $2 super chat. Picks for the Rumble. Cena and unfortunately Charlotte. I am not going to pick Cena for the Royal Rumble. I think that is way too predictable. Joey Taylor with the $2 super chat. SmackDown was an okay show. Sure. I found it to be boring. Michelle with a $2 super chat. Bloodline story seems very convoluted right now. Well, hopefully they tie up whatever loose ends they need next week with Solo Sikoa being back on the show. I'm guessing he didn't want to show his face this week because he was embarrassed that he lost the Ulafala. But he did say himself, remember, he did say himself, if he lost the Ulafala to Roman Reigns, that he would have to acknowledge Roman Reigns as the tribal chief. I don't think the other two guys are going to want to do that. Tribal Chief with a $2 super chat. JD, I'm in Los Angeles right now. Fire's getting close to me. Well, you better be careful, brother. You better be careful. I emailed our VIP, good friend of the show. You guys know Osakui. He is in California as well, and he's being affected by the fire, but not as bad as where the fire actually was emanating. Obviously, you got the smog and the smoke and the air quality being terrible, but him and his family are okay, I can report. So thank God for that. So thoughts and prayers and love from the OTS family going his way, man. Oja Sin Cara with a $9.99. What's up, JD and OTS family? SmackDown was mid tonight, but tonight was mid, but it's all good. Just got tickets to meet one of my childhood idols growing up in Mexico, Vampiro. Have fun with that. Johnny Cloud with a 40 months. I was in the crowd live during the KO and Cody Rhodes fight. It was fucking awesome. I was right there. I love you, Cody Rhodes. LFG. It was a mid-show, though. I was there, but it was all right in Portland. Glad you had a good time, brother. James Gender with a $9.99. Hey, JD, did you hear Dave LaGreca tell Bully Ray that CM Punk versus Seth Rollins was the greatest moment in WWE history? I did not. I don't think Dave LaGreca honestly thinks that. And I enjoy Dave LaGreca's work. I just don't think he believes that. Apex with the $1.99. Yeah, the fires that started in Los Angeles, man. I don't believe anything the news says. I think something very, very fishy going on there. Same thing happened in Maui. Very, very fishy. Gavin Newsom looks like an absolute disgusting human being. He just resonates and emanates as a scummy human. He reminds me of the governor from The Walking Dead. That's how scummy he is. He comes off like he's this good guy, but he's not a good guy. Something's going on there, man. King Mo Jackson, the $4.99. The first step in solving a problem is admitting there is a problem. That's a problem. TK is the problem. AEW look like rookies with a great roster. TK is the problem. He will never admit that he's the problem, King Mo. Everything's great over there. Apex with the $1.99. Rock could eliminate both Roman and Cena as number 30. Just because everybody's picking Cena, I'm going Rock to win Royal Rumble. Joker's voice with a $2 super chat. Atlanta was also Rock's 3 count throat slash. Hell, OTS. He could be there. He could very well be there. I don't know if he has residency in Atlanta. He might. The Abyss with a $9.99 super chat. A super chat just so you never say, hey boy, ever again. Yes, boy. Goldberg. Cake with a $2 super chat. Triple H does not know how to pace a 3-hour show. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Triple H has had many very good 3-hour shows. I don't know how you can pace a good 3-hour show when this roster is fucking boring. Johnny Boy Vaccaro. $10 super chat. Bayley had to win. She loses to Tiffany and then moves to Raw. No need to let Bianca or Naomi to win because they are tag team champions and still involved with Jade Mystery Attacker. Yes. Yes. Also, Johnny Boy with a $20 super chat. Thank you, Johnny Boy. Envision this. Solo giving a bitter speech of him losing And just before he states this wasn't the plan, Fatu spikes Solo before he finishes the word plan. Solo's rolling on the floor and the music hits for the final boss. No, I don't think The Rock is going to show up next week. I don't think The Rock is going to show up next week in some rando fucking city. He's going to pick and choose his spots very wisely. Justin with the 29 months. So I'm guessing I did the right thing by going to the Celtics game over SmackDown. Yes. Yes, absolutely. You could probably... WWE actually uploads like highlights of SmackDown and Raw on their YouTube, like a recap. All you need to do is watch a recap. Watching this show for 3 hours, absolutely a complete waste of time. Joey Taylor with a $5 super chat. JD, every Saturday NXT will compete with Collision because they will be doing reruns of NXT every Saturday. Oh, is that the case? Is that confirmed for every Saturday on CW? They're going to rerun NXT? Wonder if I should add that to the weekly live stream schedule. I know once I do, I'll regret it. Logan the Inspired with a 199. JD, it feels like The Rock entry 31 is happening. You know, Logan, I said this when I talked about, I think it was during the extra I did yesterday on Malachi. Solid Monster and I talked about this on Tuesday Night Titans. He had the idea. I think everybody along the lines had the idea of The Rock coming in at number 30. I mean, this was being talked about last year. Everybody was talking about this last year. Like, why did he interject himself? Why did he take Cody's spot without even being in the Royal Rumble? Like, you can't do that. Like, the guy won the opportunity to wrestle Roman, and then Cody just gives it to him. If he wanted to do that, he should have came in at number 30 and fucking won the Rumble himself. So now we're talking about the same thing this year. It just feels like everything that fans were complaining he should have did last year, he's going to do this year. And I honestly feel if they want to do it right, I don't like them going the number 31 road. Can't even fucking talk tonight. I don't like them going the number 31 route. If you want to do that, have him come in at number 30 and just omit somebody during the match. So, for example, if the buzzer goes off and number 11 is supposed to come out and nobody comes out, then I would rather there be 29 entrants and not 30 or 31. If number 11 comes out and there's nobody coming out, just leave it at that. We'll just go right to number 12 and then on into the Royal Rumble. And then when we get to number 30, everything seems to be all right. But then you hear The Rock's music. He comes out at number 31, but it would really still be 30 because he would be taking place for number 11. So I would rather them do something like that instead of give us 30 and then 1. I do think that it's possible. I genuinely do think it's possible. And I would be okay with that. I really would. Because then that would make sense of him going after Cody Rhodes. It would make all the sense in the world instead of him, hey, I'm back. I'm challenging Cody. Because you can't do that. You can't do that. Apex with a 199. Fire started so governor can buy back land for cheap. Probably. That's what they did in Maui. It's exactly what they did in Maui. And Francis Loop with a $5 super chat and a $10 super chat. Malachi returned to WWE as Malachi. I mean, he could, but I like Alistair better. The fans know him as Alistair. Malachi sounds better, says Francis. It fits his character better. I would have him be the leader of the Wyatt Six. No, I would have him just pick up where he left off on Black and Gold. Malachi can give the Wyatt Six a sense of legitimacy and be the dominant faction on Raw, since there are no other legit factions. No, Francis. Aleister Black will be by himself. I want him to go and do everything he did in NXT. Come up with the coffin, give him his old theme music back, buy the rights to it, and just go all the way with it. I'm going all the way and getting the hell out of here, man. I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for following me tonight on this very lame duck episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Make sure you guys go check out all the other content on the channel. Plenty of it. Tons of content over there, man. 2 extras, live streams, more still to come this weekend. Hit that thumbs up. Thank you for the super chat love tonight. And make sure you guys leave me a comment down below. Next time you see me live will be on Monday nights, right here on Off the Script. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday live on Netflix.